Hello, this is Vaughn Fry, and you're listening to Rob's Thing with That Guy. I guess I'm that guy. With me is Rob Stalker. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
How you doing, guys? My name is Rob. I am going to be Vaughn's co-host today. He didn't want to seem as big of a deal as me, so he wanted me to be in the title of our
I didn't want to
program.
sound self-centered for once, so that's why we're actually calling this series Rob's Thing with That Guy. This is the first ever Netflix commentary. I've been listening to DVD commentary tracks while I was on the road of movies I'm familiar with. These would particularly be Oliver Harper's series, which I think are more insightful than his, yeah, I guess, his more popular retrospective reviews, and also a little bit of Rambo Raff for Life. And I figured, hey, a lot of people have Netflix, not a lot of people have an extensive DVD collection, but if we put a commentary track out there for something that streams on Netflix, more people can enjoy it, and that is what we're doing now. Rob, tell them what we're watching.
Today we're going to be watching Total Recall, the 1990 classic starring Arnie, otherwise known as Arnold Schwarzenegger. This movie is an hour and 54 minutes long, so you will be with us for around 2 hours today.
Yeah,
You
welcome
ready?
to hell. So here's
Yeah.
how we're going about this. Go ahead and start Total Recall on your Netflix instant streaming. Then pause it, take it down to 000, and hit play now. All right, so we all have the incoming stars from the Paramount logo, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It kind of bothers me whenever you see the new versions of logos and you're watching an old movie. It's like that didn't
Yeah.
exist. And Paramount had a kick-ass logo at that time. I don't think that their movie. I don't think Paramount was behind this movie though. Like, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I think maybe they
Like
maybe had
here
the
we got the
rights to it
Studio
now.
Canal, and sometimes you'll see it listed as like Canal Plus or Artisan for these kind of movies, because and here we go with the actual retro TriStar.
Oh, yeah.
It's the horsey that jumps over the. There we go. Yeah. You know what though? This is so much more brief than today's nonsense with the logos. Like you go to a
Yeah.
movie now, you have to watch like 20 logos go by. Oh yes, the Carlico. This is the sign of excellence in the early 90s right here.
That is an old school logo. I haven't seen
Because
that in years.
they were something of like a juggernaut of the independents. So like their movies had extraordinary budgets. Arnold Schwarzenegger theoretically was in the most expensive movie ever made 3 times, with this being one of them. Then Terminator 2, then True Lies. And we have our, is it Jerry Goldsmith score?
Believe so.
But I don't, I mean, it's a fine score, and this is the way how you start an epic movie with the, the cool titles and the score kick in, but it sounds too much to me like Conan the Barbarian.
It's got that nice classic 90s, 80s feel going on though. Ooh, Sharon Stone.
And this is not a movie that has aged gracefully, in my opinion. It looks as 1990 as a movie can get, but in a good way too.
Oh yeah.
This is one of the last stalwarts of the traditional optical effects and puppetry. We got like, okay, Paul Verhoeven directing, Ronnie Cox, Rob Bottin, all names from RoboCop. I think the DP of this also worked on RoboCop. Yeah, there's Jerry Goldsmith music. And
Actually,
I do like the titles though. I'm not really sure what significance they have, but in this day, you're like wondering how they did that. And now it's like computer.
never thought about it that way. Actually, I read that the opening scene was shot in Mexico City because there's no money left for any of the special effects for anything else. The whole movie was shot in like blue screen. It's pretty crazy.
I don't think that today's movies you spend as much time on the credits, but I think that's something about setting the stage. You dive in more with today's movies, and then maybe you have a credit. There we go. Director, that's always the last name up. And here we are. I'm not really sure what we were watching, like red sand floating downward.
Oh yeah. And there we go.
Cut to Mars. And that theme right there, the do 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 do. Yeah, that it's a little eerie, but um, it sort of signifies a dream, like because we understand later on this is a dream.
Oh yes. Is that mysterious woman?
There's Arnold Schwarzenegger and Rachel Ticotin, who I like to think of as the what was she, like a warden or something on Con Air? She was
Yeah,
almost
she
raped
was
by
in Con
Johnny
Air.
25.
Oh yeah.
They call me Johnny 2500 if they knew the truth. Die! Oh
Oh no.
no!
This
Now we
is
got
great.
Puppet Arnold.
That
Eyes
used to
bulge.
freak me out when I was younger.
Yeah, puppets. You miss puppets. This movie is
I
actually made before your time, so I'm glad that
Oh
somebody
yeah.
of your age can appreciate things
Oh
older
yeah.
than them.
I was not even born. I can't. I was born a year after this movie.
Now, something about this just makes sense. Like, if you're Arnold Schwarzenegger, you probably wake up with something like that next to you.
Oh,
It doesn't sound far-fetched at all. This is Sharon Stone, right near the crux of her fame. Another Paul Verhoeven movie, Basic Instinct, really put her way up the charts. So this is just a little before that. I don't think she really had like a big movie role before this. Like she had roles, they just weren't big movies. Oh, awesome. I've got a phone ringing because my parents, who I live with, believe in having a home phone. How awesome. And I'm not picking it up because I'm in quite a
you know,
bad spot right now.
the director wanted Sharon Stone. Oh God, this is getting frisky. Oh no. Yeah, the director wanted Sharon Stone to take off more clothes for the scene, but she was a little timid for that, I guess. Unfortunately.
That doesn't even make sense because she does more in prior movies and after,
I
for that
know. I don't
matter.
understand.
That's
Maybe
kind of
it's
what
because
she's
she's
known for.
exactly. Maybe she's because Arnie's there. Maybe. Uh-oh.
She's like, "Oh no, you keep having these weird dreams, but here's something to distract you."
Oh.
Now, I could have sworn that if you watched carefully, you would see a map of the United States that contained Canada within the United States, which only makes sense in the
Of
future.
course. Of
Of
course.
course, we'd eventually absorb them. You got it comes by very quick though. You got to really keep your eyes peeled for it on the wall here. And it's weird how like the okay, so there's a lot of CRT monitors throughout this movie. Like he goes on like the subway, CRT monitors everywhere, no flat screens. Yet here we have what we kind of assume is a very wide flat screen kind of TV setup.
A square TV.
See how it
Oh.
ends up going like with the walls? Now it's a wider aspect.
That they couldn't make up their mind.
But they have that very consumer of the day house. It doesn't look like it's in the future. It's like something of a retro futuristic look. Like if you were in the 1990s trying to bring 1990s style to the future. I guess late 80s for that matter. And with this being an effect shot, you see a lot of that extra grain from when they've had to overlay the image. This movie in general has a very gray palette. Like it's not real crisp and clear. And even when they come up with a Blu-ray that makes it more vibrant, people complain about the DNR, digital noise reduction. We got Cohagen on the TV here, and she wants to distract him. Oh no, you're not supposed to be looking at him. And this movie plays either way. Like, eventually, he of course gets his mind messed with. I think we can agree that much happened. But then from that point forward, you don't know if he's in a dream kind of state or if this is the reality. And I think the movie kind of plays both cards here. Like, look, she seems to be distracting him from watching this.
Oh yeah, never picked that up when I was younger.
We get more cues in a minute when he goes to work, which with Arnold busting up rock at a quarry, like I don't know what she's doing with him. Like that's kind of a weird thing to think of too.
This simple construction worker, and she's a goddess.
It's meant for something more than this.
It's kind of like Vaughn, minus the construction worker.
Yeah, because no one would pay me to do that. You are somebody. Just promise me you won't go there. Okay. And she gets a kind of an odd look. I wonder if he's going to figure it out.
Uh-oh.
Any idea where they shot this stuff? Is this Mexico City?
I believe so. Let me double check.
I don't want you double
Yes.
checking nothing.
I'm gonna double check because I want to know this for sure.
No, I thought
It looks
this was
like,
cool back in
yeah,
the day
this
here.
is Mexico City. They shot a lot of the architecture scenes, interiors.
We've got the X-ray. Of course, that would have been pretty time-consuming with the technology at the time. Like, try to think about what you know of computers back then, and it's just like, how could anybody accomplish anything when all they were looking at was numbers? See these giant CRT screens? Like, they didn't have the vision of the flat screen. And the guy in the commercial here, we'll see him later on in the film. He's the spokesman for recall, recall.
It's basically like a car salesman for a recall. It's great.
Yeah, at this time, a lot of commercials had jingles. Now it's mostly local adverts have the jingles. And national stuff very seldom has jingles, if you keep track of it like that. In other words, if you have as little life as I do and you watch a lot of commercials, you can take note of that kind of stuff. This guy here, I can't remember his name. He was in Die Hard 2, Die Harder. I think he probably like doubles for Danny DeVito for all I know. Okay, now carefully watch this guy. All right, so he warns him, and then look at this look he gives him.
Huh.
It's like I'm supposed to be keeping an eye on you here. Otherwise, why are we sustaining that shot for 5 seconds? So he warns him, and then we get that parting shot of him. So it makes you think that maybe what happens here is real. Like, there's information for you to go with either narrative. Of course, here's Arnold going into recall. No touch screen here, folks. This is a good shot. I'm
Oh wow.
honestly not really sure how they did that. Because look, there's plenty of movement in those fingertips. I'm sure it's like an optical effect. Giant computer. Oh, he already set up an appointment.
That's Skype.
Oh yeah, back in the day, you would flip your wig over video calling. I remember we went to when I was in elementary school. We had this learning place we'd go to called the Kirkpatrick Omniplex, and they had like a video call demonstration thing there, and just like everybody flipped their lid over it.
And the last 10 years have been more advanced than like this whole century. It's crazy if you were back in the 50s and just say two sentences of something you do day to day, they'd be like, "What? What?"
Now, why would you talk this guy out of a Mars memory to go to Saturn? Like, does Saturn cost more? Like, these memories are extra. Basic Mars package. I do like the idea of credits. When I
Yeah,
take over the world, we're going to use credits.
and video games got it right. Most new RPGs are always credits, like
Well,
Mass
Final
Effect.
Fantasy gives you Gil. Not really
Oh
sure
yeah,
why. I'm pretty
Gil.
sure that Gil has been devalued with inflation. How real does it seem?
Don't bullshit him.
This guy makes for a good salesman. Ancient history, like last year. Check out these statistics, buddy. Shuttle. Over the course of the years, the shuttle gets more fatalities. Shuttles are only getting more dangerous.
Smart move.
Are we looking at the precursor of the tablet right there he's writing on? Now, this is where the used car salesman sells him on the persona trip. No matter where you go, there you are. I think that term was coined in 1984 in Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai. Never really understood what that had meant exactly. I guess it means you don't want to be yourself. So he talks him into this package where he gets to be a secret agent.
Ah.
You said exotic? Go on.
That's great because it's
That is
exactly
what
the plot of
happens
the
in the movie.
movie. That's awesome.
You get the girl, kill the bad guys, save the entire planet. Yeah,
Spoiler.
I'll take that option. Look at the grin on Arnold. Yay!
Oh
Whoa!
god, this scene is
They're
so
leaning me
iconic.
back in the chair, and I'm not comfortable. Okay, now pay attention to the CRT here. The girl who is his contact as the secret agent mission. Okay, so here are alien artifacts. Some of this you end up seeing in the movie here. So there, see those columns, the reactor?
Oh yeah, that's so cool. I'm not noticing this stuff until now.
You think that's enough to knock me out?
Oh,
She's like, I knew it.
I could tell. Is there not like an overweight, disgusting version?
No, this is the 1990s. They didn't
Oh,
like
okay.
disgusting people in media.
All right. Dirty Arnold.
Let him choose while he's being knocked unconscious. Okay, look at that. There's Rachel Ticotin right there. So they have shown him the person from his dreams and the person he's going to meet. It makes you wonder kind of when the dream even started, if this is a dream. And I think that'd be the easiest way to write off the narrative, is to say the entire film was some kind of dream state. I like this guy over here. When problem with Arnold, he's like, "I'm sorry, I'm with a very important customer, very important client, I believe." Oh no, not another schizoid embolism.
Uh-oh.
He warned him.
Oh, shit.
Seems like a rational guy to untie.
I just can't even
Yeah,
believe
now they're juicing him up here.
I just can't picture Colin Farrell doing this scene. I'm never gonna watch that.
I have
I mean,
seen
it's so
it. I actually
perfect.
caught a
You have.
T-shirt at a sneak preview of it.
Ah, okay. Now, do they do this scene pretty similar, or is it different?
With all remakes, it's hard to remember
Yeah.
because they're just not classics.
Well,
It's hard to remember anything about that movie, and it was about 2 years ago that I saw it.
well, I'll give it a shot eventually, just to say I saw it. But
I
it's
know
not
they
gonna compare.
they made a lot of changes with. He doesn't go to Mars. Instead, he has to travel through the center of the Earth. Like, that's any more realistic.
Oh
It's like,
God.
why bother? Like, there's one train that goes from like Australia to England or something. It's like, you can't fly. Like, we have planes. So she's over here saying, "Hey, we never gave him the implant. What are you talking about? This guy seems to think he's a secret agent, but we haven't given him the implant. We better dump the body. Just put him in the taxi, Johnny Cab." Never heard of him. Oh yes, the
Oh, I love this.
boxy cars. Oh man, you gotta remember this actor's name, Ricardo. He was the doctor in Star Trek Voyager, and he's like the model and the voice for the Johnny Cab. On Star Trek Voyager, they had like a computer hologram doctor, but he was effective.
Now, is this a person with prosthetics, or
No, I
what am I
don't
seeing?
believe so. But he's the voice, and they modeled the look after him.
Okay, okay. How aerodynamic those cars are.
Yeah, probably
Ugly.
not. But
That's why I don't make cars.
hey, what are you
Uh-oh.
doing here? How convenient.
Whoa. You see there, guys?
You didn't bring enough guys. I swear it's the voice of Danny DeVito.
You know, I think that's the guy who does, like I think you mentioned earlier, he's a double for Danny DeVito's voice.
It would seem that way. Like, he could be a
Yeah,
stand-in for him too.
he could.
All right, now here's Arnold putting the beat down on guys. A lot more kicking than Arnold usually does. Usually it's a punching and throwing kind of thing with him. Boom. That's the way you do it. That guy had quite a flexible arm. Unless he broke it, I guess. Then shot him in the back. And he just kind of snapped into this secret agent kill mode here. Just wiped out these
Yeah.
guys.
And I love how violent this movie is. It's great.
Yeah, that's Paul Verhoeven's cult status is based on violence, like RoboCop. When I was little, I kind of thought RoboCop was more of a for kids kind of thing because, like, they had a cartoon, they had action figures, and there were so many R-rated movies that had action figures and cereal and everything back in the day. And then it's not till later on that you realize, oh, well, it was originally rated NC-17. They had to cut it down to R, things like that. She's playing the newest Wii U. Should Nintendo stay in business?
Paul Verhoeven, didn't he direct Basic Instinct after this?
Yes, which I
with
think I
Sharon.
said earlier.
Okay.
Tell me what happened. These guys are after me, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to spill the beans, and then you're going to try to kill me. I gotta wonder what's Cohagen's plan here, if it is to, like, he mentions later on to Richter, oh, I had you guys try to kill him, but I knew you were too incompetent to do it. He was gonna lead him here. Like, so he has all these guys told to kill him, and they can't do it. And that's just exactly what he needs to lead him into the trap. Which is kind of a tough way to design a trap.
Oh yeah.
There's Richter.
There. Michael Ironside.
Jester from Top Gun. The bad dude from Scanners.
And he's a phenomenal bad guy.
For quite a while, he was the voice of Sam in the, what was it, Splinter Cell, and then they replaced him. But they had to make a video of him being okay with his replacement, which was kind of weird. He was like, oh yeah, the new guy, he's great. He never gets his lines wrong or nothing. Sharon Stone versus Arnold. In the dark. Her martial arts, a little suspect. Like, there's some flexibility there, I'll give her that. It's amazing how they have this big fight, and then, like, just a little bit later, they're like, okay, let's just chill and talk. Like a married couple. Everything's implanted. Okay, fine, the job's real. See how they're just kind of chill here? It's like, oh, you had a big fight with the missus, and everybody's calming down.
It's like any
It's about ready
normal
to pour
couple.
some drinks. I still got the gun on you, but here, come have a seat and let's talk. Okay, gun's not so much on you now. Make a move.
Make up sex. Make up sex.
She got more of a workout doing this than her, like, Wii tennis. You're the best assignment I ever had. You could tie me up. He's like, oh, I'll think about it. Ah, clever girl.
Trying to distract her.
Clever
Uh-oh.
Girl, that's the origin of the Clever Girl meme right there. People will credit that to Jurassic Park. 3 years earlier, Total Recall, Clever Girl. Now, at that time, you'd see, like, if you had to punch out a woman in a movie, it was usually like a slap move, or you had to get your woman buddy to punch the other woman. It's like the man couldn't defeat the woman, so he had to, like, recruit a woman just to fight the bad lady, if that makes any sense to you in action films of the day.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of girls getting knocked the fuck out anymore, which is probably good, I guess, for domestic violence reasons, but it's nice for a nice little classic scene.
What happened here? Don't touch her. And then they have a big, we haven't kissed in a long time kiss. Yes, the tracking
Oh,
device that only raises questions as to how it works. I mean, it's one thing to have some kind of like graph there, but for it to understand the geography of the room.
yeah, that's a little far-fetched.
Okay, clearly we have established there is a connection between these two.
Oh, now this upcoming escalator scene is one of the several reasons why the violence was edited to change the film's final rating. I believe it was like X before it was R.
I think they had NC-17 at this time.
C-17, okay.
Yeah, I thought this was like the big selling point scene when this would play
Oh
on
yeah,
TV back in the day. They would always show this,
that was so good.
and it just would really make you interested in, whoa, we got to see that. I'm sure with that X-ray effect there, they did a lot of rotoscoping, trying to place the bones, kind of like if you were drawing it just about, and matching the actors.
Here we go.
A lot of stairs. Like, where are these people really going?
Lots of white people I see.
Oh, yeah. Mexico City, all about the white people. All right, I've got the gun out. Now, these guys killed him first, and I'm
Ah,
going to use you as a human shield.
now that guy is flinching when he's getting shot, mind you, and he's already dead.
Well, it's just powerful bullets. I do like and respect
Look
the
at
fact
that.
that they're using guns in the future, because it's like, can guns kill anybody any worse than like a ray gun or a laser? Like, why bother changing it if it's effective? So there's just murder everywhere over here. But hey, Arnold didn't actually shoot him.
Stairs, stairs, and stairs.
Stairs, escalator, moving sidewalk. Not sure if that glass will break that easily, but there's no telling how hard Arnold punched that glass out with that gun. I would guess quite. Yeah, we'll just open fire on that subway car. Police are nowhere to be found in Mexico City. Good thing I got the CRT monitor here to give me advice. I do like, though, how he watches that and he's like, of course, I'll
Of course.
fly to Mars. Instead of actually like having any 5 minute scene of him getting there and negotiating with a guy how to get on board, all that kind of nonsense.
God, that guy is so creepy.
Oh, that car is so not in production. Y2 display units.
And one knob. Like, what does that do?
Yeah, screw vents for air conditioning. Let's have like inverted displays. And one guy's going to be sitting sideways in the car.
Oh, that is so awkward.
Like that won't give people motion sickness. Sunspots. Yeah, that's it. Michael Ironside never really had hair.
Yeah, I can't picture him ever with a full head of hair. It's always that comb over.
We got our bits of product placement here, but it's companies that are kind of in business, like Fujifilm. Okay, yeah, I guess. Coca-Cola, sure.
It's like, what are you zooming in on? What the hell is that?
So he just shows up at some place. Video call. Bugs in my skull. Well, if I look in the mirror, maybe I can see it. Hey, I'm an old buddy. You told me to get you this package here, and that's what I'm doing.
Where is that tracker? Is he pulled out of his eye, or is it his mouth, or his
It goes
ear?
through the nose.
Nose. I knew it was somewhere terrible.
I can't remember what they did in the remake. In the remake, I think there was a tracker thing too. Like they tried to hit on a lot of the similar points. All right, so you got to go down there and grab this case.
I love the towel on his head.
Yeah.
No, that's not yours. Put that away. Don't be nosy. You're nosy.
You got a crazy hoarder lady here wanting that.
Old ladies always want to take shit that isn't theirs.
I like the little bow from Arnold. That's nice. Yeah, we have a Sony Triton television set ad in the background there. Or is it Triniton? Something. They had a flat panel in their CRT screens that everybody had to have. Goes to a Johnny Cab.
Johnny
Yeah,
Cab.
you can see the torso there. It's a
okay.
puppet, kind of animatronic. Like you would find at Showbiz Pizza or Chuck E. Cheese.
It's like GPS. Please state your street and number.
I'm not familiar with shit. You frustrate me.
I did drive
grab the
myself.
joystick. He's fortunate that there's a joystick underneath him. Like, there didn't need to be. I don't think that he leaned into it to control the car.
No. God, it would be very awkward driving a car with a joystick.
Well, I used to think it would be
Man.
good, but what did I know?
That's because you played a lot of video games.
I mean, if the cars could fly, I could see the point. Again, there's very little repercussions here for shooting. Like, at no point do police end up on the scene. They don't have police in the future.
Yeah, I don't recall seeing any type of law enforcement at all during this whole movie.
I'm not sure why he, like, all of a sudden is sparking and stuff, but it makes... You want to have explosions in your Arnold movie, that's for sure.
That's gotta be it.
It's also nice how things used to blow up back in the day, and now things are computer from the start, so they don't even have real explosions. Like, it always pisses me off when I see a movie and they have a CGI helicopter. Like, wow, Are you aware that helicopters exist and we can get them for our expensive movie? And they don't. It just annoys me.
I like the old helicopters that would crash and explode, and you can tell they're models, like in the old Vietnam movies.
Well, sometimes it looks really good. Like that's some authentic model
Yeah.
crashing in Die Hard.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we got some fake ideas here for Arnold, who still has the turban, which he, if you have never wore a turban before, I'm not sure if you could tie it up that well that quickly. Like it seems like his secret agent might have been a turban in a past life. Aha! Now
Never have worn a turban.
it's nice how he has these little toys here to help him. He's got the right help to fulfill the mission that Cohagen has in mind, supposedly.
I wonder how they did this scene. Gotta be a body double, maybe. I don't
It's
know.
it's a matter of like I think you expose the film and then you put it back. It's in the editing process. Like you overlay one image, and so you end up with an excessive amount of grain because it's got two
Oh yeah.
layers of film's grain on it. That's kind of the tell. Now, surely this briefcase monitor is a little thinner, or so we would be led to believe. You can see it's got that CRT bulge. It's not flat.
Oh yeah. Oh, now that's why the explosion was there.
We picked up an explosion. Yeah, but it's like, Arnold, did you really need to blow things up? It's like John
And
Cab tried to kill him too, in a
no,
way.
he made it seem like Johnny Cab like fucked his mom. Like it was kind of a little excessive.
Johnny Cab wanted blood. And then he was like, "Have a nice day," as he melted. Now, would you really be trying to feed the rats, or like even if you were mesmerized by yourself telling you the story, would you be like, "Oh, cool, there's rats all over the place in
Yeah, I
front of
don't.
me"?
Not one to feed
I'd be like,
rats.
"Rats, get the hell away. Let's set this case down somewhere where rats aren't." Everybody's got gold wing doors.
I love the score of this movie.
Movies don't have scores like they used to. They have some like ambiance atmosphere kind of things going at best, but it's usually forgettable. I thought that having the score that helped move along the story and sell the emotions really went a long ways back in the day.
Definitely. This is great.
Okay, so here's a Rob Bottin puppet coming up
Yeah.
here. You'll see. There we go.
Oh, that's great. That's just good stuff.
Now, when you're watching this, way back in the day, and it's like for the first time, you can't really tell that it's a puppet so much. But the real shame of it is that the effects industry, the technology is all in the computer side. So while we can build even better molded puppets off of people and everything now than we ever could, it's so seldom used, they would just rather use a computer generated head or whatever.
The puppets give that real authentic feel, even if it doesn't look 100% realistic. It has a kind of an almost like gross look to it. I mean, that scene looks grosser now than it would if it was CGI'd.
Yeah, the puppets in this are a little oily looking.
Yeah,
But the thing is, like, great CGI is really good, but usually CGI is kind of half-assed, marginalized, and rushed. So when they say they're going to go computer effect, you really never know what you're getting until the end product. Now he's hidden the transmitter, and the rats run around with it. I don't think they actually digest it because it's kind of big, but I don't know what like limitations rats have on what they can eat.
rats can chew through pretty much anything,
Yeah, and I
like
hear they can chew
bricks.
through stuff, but do they
But
like eat things whole?
not whole. I used to have a rat for some reason,
No,
and
you
that thing
didn't.
you. No, I did. I swear I had a rat.
What was the rat's name?
Luna.
Wow, somebody just made
Yeah.
that up. Yeah.
No, I swear I had a rat for about 2 years because that's about as long as they live.
Oh,
Um,
really?
I swear to God, I had a rat. I have pictures to prove it. It was pretty cool.
So they're shooting at the rats, but yeah, now the rat gets killed and it's
Ah,
jelly blood
that's a
everywhere.
lot of jelly for a
Yeah, that's
rat.
definitely a jelly. It's that level of thickness. Here we are. We got the ship landing on Mars. I do like the way spaceships looked back in the day. Like the thing is, like if I don't know if you've ever seen like the Star Wars exhibits where they have like all the Star Wars things. The Millennium Falcon's like the size of a couch. Like if you build the
Oh yeah,
models big
yes.
enough, they look very good. But when people tried to rip off Star Wars, they built small spaceship models and they looked terrible
Yeah,
because you
you couldn't
couldn't
get
put the
that
little
detail.
lighting in there, you couldn't put the
Yeah.
detail. Okay, so here he is coming to Mars. We have Arnold dressed up as the big lady. This not this actress, but this costume, this look, everything about it, they tried to do this in the remake. So they had this woman here with this case, the same jacket, everything. And you're thinking, okay, Colin Farrell's inside her. But it was like a fake out. It was a bit of a red herring.
Uh,
So the
okay, to
audience
fake
kind
out
of
the
gets a chuckle
audience.
homage out of it without it being a direct. I mean, it's like, hey, you remember the first movie? We did this, but we're not going to quite do that. So it's not a total ripoff. Saving Grace, I guess. And it was just like a mediocre movie. It wasn't it wasn't awful. Like a lot of the effects looked fine. A lot of the art direction, the sets looked better than in this movie. I feel like this movie's got a strange look to it. Like the sets don't age well. Look at how weirdly plain everything looks back there. There's just gray everywhere, gray or red, very muted colors.
Yeah, especially watching this in HD, you really see all that.
Okay, so the mouth and voice is malfunctioning. 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Obviously not Arnold's hands.
God, this movie has such great. I love the effects. I know. The scene is great. That is a person doing that. Oh my God.
Yeah, maybe when they cast her, they said, "Are you a big woman with a rubbery face?"
Their 15 seconds of fame.
Everybody's just captivated. They're like, "What is this woman doing?"
I hope you put that in a resume.
I would think that this would be a widespread technology. Like people would be familiar with the fake faces, heads. Like I don't know. You don't see any other in the movie, but it's not like did he get the only prototype? Okay, so here we have the animatronics kick in.
Oh yeah,
Because
that's
clearly
great.
that's not really coming out of anybody. It looks really good.
It does.
But Arnold here looks a little off. Like he's got his eyes are a little
Yeah,
funny, and those are
they
not
look a little
Arnold's hands. Those are
lopsided.
two different people's hands as they're lifting that up on the model.
Does that explode? All right.
Now those were women's clothes, but when Arnold's running around like that, it doesn't really look like women's clothes anymore.
Yeah, it looks like it fits him
Like a little
perfectly.
bit, but it kind of looks. I don't know. It looks like he's got like a duster or something. Just about.
It's crazy to think about. This movie was made about 25 years ago, came out 24 years ago. I mean, it's quarter century old. Holds up well though for some of the effects.
Now this would look much different today if they were doing this kind of thing. Like the camera would be zooming in and following the people as they fell outside and hit
Oh
against
yeah,
rocks, and everything has to have some kind of extreme CGI tracking shot
yeah.
with anything
Reminds me of
anymore.
that first Star Trek in the opening scene where that guy or lady falls out of the ship and it just shows them falling into space, which I do like, but sometimes it is overused.
Trying to explain to Richter why we can't kill everybody. He's like,
No,
okay, fine. You make a good
is that a
point.
type of law enforcement right there? Is that
Sort
what that
of. I
is?
mean, on Mars,
Yeah,
but it's like
on
Cohagen
Mars.
controls the law,
Yeah.
so I don't know. It's like he has all control over it. There's wanted Quado signs over there. This is a really good shot. We have our miniature train composite with Arnold in them. It just looks really nice. Those are very
See,
good
yeah,
miniatures.
that looks very good.
Can't
That
have
definitely holds
miniatures
up
these
well.
days because we don't build stuff for movies anymore. There is an advantage, though, to having CGI. Like, I used to be in the camp of the CGI bad, practical good, but as I figure out more about it and you look back at the past of things, particularly animations of, like, creature faces are very stiff, but you're like, okay, well, it's good that they actually had a creature, but with computer, you can make those much more lifelike if you put in the effort.
Yeah, I feel like CGI was really abused in the like early 2000s to mid 2000s.
Yeah, I think probably around the time of the Mummy
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
to several of um, maybe 2004 or so. It's in recent times. It's like they're figuring out where to best apply it, but still they're too liberal with spreading it everywhere instead of we could like I said, the helicopters. We have helicopters. Why not use actual helicopters? So
Yeah.
when you see a helicopter in any movie now, 90% of the time it's fake. And I've noticed that since about Keanu's Day the Earth Stood Still. It's like, wait, there's fake helicopters. Like, why?
Do not ever bring that movie up again. That
Okay,
movie looked.
I don't
I remember.
intend to.
Yeah, it was kind of a letdown.
So these are my goldfish, and I feed them because it shows how powerful I am, that people rely on me for their food and their water and their air. I have a giant table with no one to sit at it because I am in charge.
Yeah, all film villains have to have some type of pet, it seems.
Ugh, don't erase
Ugh.
me.
Do not erase my ass. That looks like Lionel Richie.
Almost. If Lionel Richie was driven homeless by Nicole Richie's rampant spending in
Exactly.
the future, that would be him. Okay, now here's a weird bit here. So
They're like
we
prostitutes for
got the cab
cabs.
guy. Yeah, he comes back to him though. That's the same cab guy he sticks
Oh
with.
yeah.
But it's like they're fortunate enough that he picked the wrong cabbie. Okay, so we're about to be introduced to Melina as a character outright, not just somebody on the monitor, somebody in a dream. Well, I guess he has to head to Venusville first, so here he is at the Hilton, a corporation that I believe is still in business.
I believe so. I
I've
think
never
they're doing
been
pretty
to the
well.
Hilton, but I don't travel with air quotes.
Yeah. I've been to a couple of Hiltons between the
All right, nobody
traveling.
cares. Okay.
I
So,
gotta tell you, man, they're pretty nice.
thumbprint verification, yeah. Fingerprint stuff, big stuff back in the day. We're not going to have to sign things.
It looked like somebody just pushed it through the hole to the other side.
In all likelihood, yes. Just in case something happens to me, I need to make sure that there's a box with one note in it.
Sweetly. Now that is a black Sharpie with a red cap.
Exactly. Can I borrow your pen, please? I didn't ask for a Sharpie. And Sharpies still look like that, folks.
Exactly.
Except they don't have red caps with black ink.
Yeah. That guy does not know what he's doing.
5 kids to feed.
Now I care
So
about
how
the
lucky is he
character.
that he ends up with Benny, the cab he was supposed to pick or didn't need to be picking? One way to look at it. Yeah, back in the day, they had these things called stunt actors, and like they'd fall down stairs and things, but we don't do that anymore.
Screw you, Benny.
Just the usual. Rebels want their heir. So we have like a pretty small set, I'm thinking. Like we have these like little brief tunnels. They kind of drive in and out of the same tunnels, I'm thinking. And then boom, you're at the other place. Like with that short of a drive, could you not have walked?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the set was about the size of a basketball court or something like that.
Yeah, it's
Very small.
there's certain limitations with the set that show up in the way it's shot. Like it just does not have the dynamic photography you see in something that takes place more in the real world. Like comparing this to next year's film for Arnold, Terminator 2, this looks quite ancient by just the aesthetics.
Oh,
You guessed
clairvoyant.
my birthday vaguely. Here's some money
Now,
credits.
she's clairvoyant, but is that brought up again in this movie, or is that just something they threw in?
It's like the mutants have some abilities, but
Okay.
it's not crazy important. It's more
Yeah.
like they got damaged by the bad domes, and so the mutants don't like the people who did it to them, I guess. But
Yeah.
it's like if you're clairvoyant and stuff, what are you doing? Like not making any money or
I
like
know.
panhandling.
Well, I remember reading somewhere that they were planning on making a sequel to this, and they were gonna focus more on that clairvoyant mutants and
There
all
are
that.
0 mutants in the remake.
Oh, wow.
So, and it's one of my most popular written reviews on IMDb that I posted there. I didn't post all my written reviews there, but I posted my Total Recall one. It's really popular. I said like, no Mars, no mutants. You know, the weird
Oh,
thing is, okay, so here's the one with the 3 prosthetic breasts, right? They have a woman with the 3 jugs in the remake, but there's no mutants. There's no, okay, Mars has a bunch of mutants because the domes were cheap and it caused radiation. So what's a woman doing walking around with 3 jugs in the remake?
yeah.
It's like
s-
unexplained. It's just there because it was in the first movie.
Seems like a mistake. That was a weird feeling for me as a kid seeing a woman with 3 boobs because
They would
me,
censor the hell out of that on
I thought it
TV.
was
I'm not sure
real.
what they do about it anymore because it's clearly they're not realistic. So it's
Yeah.
shouldn't actually be offensive to anybody. It's not like, I mean, it's plastic that happens to look like that in one
Well,
way.
I
Thinking
showed this movie to my younger brother when he was around 10, and
now,
I
how
forgot
come
about that
Melina here
scene.
doesn't have anything wrong with her?
I know.
Something to think about when you look at who Arnold's paired with in movies. He gets the minority girls more than other actors, like Radon Chong in Commando. I'm trying to think of some other examples, but it's like now that we know his history with the nanny, it's like he's asking for the hot Latinas, you know,
Oh
something
yeah.
along those lines. But you wouldn't expect to see Rachel Ticotin here in this kind of role as the good one versus blonde Sharon Stone at this time. Because it was very much more like we're looking for the stock white people to make white people like this movie kind of way of building the films.
I've yet to be slapped by a woman and then embraced after that.
I don't think I've gotten either of those two.
Well, um, I'm sorry about that. I don't think that's true, Vaughn. You're a ladies'
What
man.
do you think about her makeup here? She's got like the gold. Okay, so there's like
Oh,
pink mascara, gold. I don't know what you call that.
I don't know.
She seems to
I
be a hooker, but and this was like a common theme of the time. It's like women in a movie, you're gonna be a hooker, but you're a good hooker, like that kind of thing.
yeah, a respectable hooker.
Girls eat that stuff up too because this was the same year as Pretty Woman, so it was like
Oh yeah.
a hooker complex in Hollywood. Like how many girls you know? They're like, "Oh, I love Pretty Woman. It's a story, and it's completely unrealistic BS, but it has Julia Roberts before she looked weird."
Now, who would you rather, Sharon Stone or Rachel Ticotin?
I mean, Arnold's got tough decisions to make here.
Like,
Now, to his credit, though, Sharon Stone tried to kill him most.
yes, but she was kinkier that I know of.
People are
Oh,
trying to
okay.
kill me. Now I've got a gun too. Everybody has the same gun.
Bitches always be pulling on him.
Yet Benny, who has the 5 kids,
Good job, Benny. I'm sure he doesn't have a nice wife or anything.
take me to the hotel. I don't want to walk. Now he is the harbinger of Quado, so he has like Quado the mutant in his stomach. He's kind of keeping an eye on things, and we learned from Cohagen who brags, and as is the case here, you got to brag about your like scheme. So he's like, ah, you led me right to him and everything. Here we go. This is the recall spokesman. He seems super like harmless. Like when they're casting harmless, this is the guy. Now they did a bit like this actually in the remake. They had a guy who was trying to talk down Colin Farrell and he started sweating like here as the tell that it wasn't fake and like, oh, what are you sweating for? You got nothing to worry about. You're an implant here to talk me down from the situation, right? It's like, look, if you don't believe me, will you believe a blonde chick? I should have researched schizoid embolism
Yeah,
because we know
never
they
heard of
didn't
that.
need another one of them. I'm pretty chill. I'm sitting down, relaxing, telling you how everything went wrong when you went to recall. Now, he actually tells him also what's about to happen in the movie.
Like that makes sense.
She's real. She was in my dream before I went there. So when he's like trying to talk him to take this pill, Realistically, I'm not sure why your persona in your dream would have to take the pill when they're operating on you. They could just make their own decisions.
She got some crazy eyes.
I don't know. Maybe I am a construction worker. Okay, come on, give away the synopsis here. Do you really have to want to return to reality? Take the blue pill. In this case, we have a red pill. Because it's the bad pill.
Man, movies love doing that.
The blue pill's the one that frees your mind, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah. Every gun in this movie has the same barrel.
Okay, so savior of the rebel cause, Cohagen's bosom buddy, fantasies of alien civilizations, all that stuff ends up happening in the coming minutes. Not without water. I can't actually swallow pills, fun fact.
Just in general, without water or with water?
I end up chewing Tylenol or whatever.
Oh, God.
It doesn't taste great. I mean, it's nothing to brag about. There's the sweat. What are you sweating for? No time to ask questions. Headshot. I swear they used to censor headshots more on television than they do today.
Now you have a headshot. You see
now
brains all over the wall.
The wall just blows like it was designed to do. Great big cutout for people to run through. Not really sure what they did to knock that wall down either.
What is up with you hitting him in the dick?
Now, he's kind of fortunate that Melina ends up taking his side of the story. I mean, if it's real, I guess he's lucky she came to the rescue. Oh, there you go. Swipe to lock. There's swipe to unlock today. He just swiped that phone call away. I wonder how much, did Michael Ironside lose a lot of weight with all the jogging he has to do in this movie?
He's constantly sweating.
Boom. Nobody shoot her. Everybody just eat bullets. Now, they have an awkward edit here in the cat fight. You'll see. Look, Sharon Stone right there. It's like, what? Like, were you punching at anything? I mean, they gave them some pretty respectable moves here. They got the high kicks. They're just flipping around. You can see that's Sharon Stone. It's not quite like they just slapped a wig on a guy and had them fly over a table. Okay, Arnold, time to make a choice.
Decisions, decisions. Nice shot.
Yeah, knives are always shot out of people's hands without blowing their hands off in movies.
Clearly, she's going for a gun.
Headshot on the woman.
And he's always look at how accurate that headshot is. He's on point with that.
Consider that a divorce.
Uh
That's really the first of the epic Arnold lines to come in this movie. And we're at
the next
we're an hour 9 minutes in, and now Arnold's gonna just let him fly. I think this movie has the best of the Arnold kill lines in it. Like, suppose someone's breaking into your house and you gotta wonder, like, what do you say to them if you shoot them and things? Like, do you mock them, then shoot them, and then tell a joke afterwards? Like, what's the exact protocol? But Arnold, it's like all over the place. It's like, boom, kills her, consider that a divorce. It's like, well, she can't really hear you. But then later on, he starts mocking the guys, then mows them down. I'll point that out, too. Oh, now you've done it. I think she's dead. Okay, this would take some faith here. Like, yeah.
That looks great.
I would not even attempt that, and I'm in shape.
I mean, that he had like 1 second to think about doing that. Less than that.
Yeah, we had no practice.
It's like jump. It's like, what happens after that?
I'm not a gymnast.
We both will land on a pole.
We don't get blisters. We don't complain about pulling our arms out of our sockets.
Oh, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. He's gonna crack the dome.
Richter has to constantly be reminded that Mars doesn't have atmosphere that's breathable.
Don't worry, he will only hit the poles that they're climbing
chance
up.
It. Yeah. Oh, what do you know? Benny's waiting for us.
What a coincidence. You should realize by now this whole movie is full of coincidences that aren't going in his favor.
Everybody, hop into the slowest car you can find.
The Scion XP. I never understood when bullets hit windows in movies, where is that bullet going? It just seems like the window shatters and the bullet goes away. It's not hitting anything.
Well, a lot of time you end up with that like spark effect. Like, see how
Arnold's
taxi is seemingly bulletproof? Or at least the windows, it's like bouncing off. It's really easy to miss with automatic guns in the future. Good thing I had this giant rifle I wasn't using.
Should have used that originally, don't you?
So he shot the brakes out. Now look at this. This is great because people don't crash into buildings anymore in movies. Like they never build the set up like that.
Yeah, if they crash into anything, it's glass.
Now I like how they have this speakeasy thing going here where they switch the room around and everybody agrees that nothing happened. That's how you know you've got a real rebel operation. Okay, to the secret passageway. Thanks, Tony. I forgive you now. They were thoughtful enough to put flashlights right at the entrance. Everybody, you saw nothing.
Oh. Like I said, constantly sweating.
I like how 3 Boob is like, don't worry, I've got this. I know how to defuse the situation.
They're pretty generous in the 3 boob showing for this movie.
Okay, somebody better know. Oh no, Tina Turner stand-in ate it. Giant knife, little lady.
Oh god, Tumbelina.
Well, oh yeah,
Please tell me there's a little person in the remake.
slow motion dive through the glass. I'm gonna turn this way until someone starts talking to me. Time to close off the air.
Now, how does Bryan Cranston do as Cohagen in the
Oh, I
remake?
mean, there's nothing to really complain about for him. He looks like he. If I'm trying to think about it here, it's sort of like Kate Beckinsale inherits the role of both Michael Ironside and Sharon Stone in one. Like they're made into one character, and that's essentially who she is in the movie. And then Cohagen is slightly more hands-on, but at the same time, like he doesn't really do anything until late. So it's kind of like they were shooting around his Breaking Bad schedule.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, they turned off the air. But we need that. So you can tell they're related because they have similar mutant issues.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's quite the operation there. You want to live here? You even have to buy the air. From me.
Ooh,
Yeah,
right
Arnold with the
now.
charm line.
Do it, man.
Benny, turn around.
Oh, what?
Sort of hiding among the skeletons.
It's like you really had to hide behind the dead body. I got 5 kids to feed, man.
Got the nice arm trick here.
Ah, I'm a mutant. I'm on your side, of course.
Yeah, so he gets in because he's a mutant, whereas the two humans, okay, you're fine.
This weird
Oh,
ET
and nice
hand.
operation you got here. You even have a TV feed with the monitors, I'm guessing. So this would be their rebel base. It's not quite Hoth, but you get by with what you have. I don't make the decisions, my stomach does. Observe it, Benny. You got to think something's up with Benny at this point when with that shot right there. Like, so
Yeah.
that's where they went.
He looks a lot like Donald Glover from Community. I
A
mean,
bit,
older version.
maybe.
I think it's because he's black and I'm
Yeah, I think
racist,
it's
I
just because
guess.
you're racist.
Yeah, that's gotta be it.
It's got tiny little monitor on the computer. I want to ask you some questions. Do you like metal chairs with rivets in them?
Comfortable.
This could have been even grosser, but I still think they, you know, I know I've seen this actor somewhere else.
Yeah, he looks familiar. This scene is great.
You got to turn on the Quado.
Ugh. Oh god.
Boom.
Oh man, they're all, like you said, all the puppets are kind of wet.
Yeah, I think they do have better puppet work now. Like, if you want to see some, okay, like look at his face here. I mean, there's really nothing bad with the mouth. I mean, it's doing what it does, but it's not like there's a lot of differentiating between the eyes. Like, it's only in a small scene, so it doesn't need to show like a range of emotions, I guess. But I've seen some better stuff more recently. It's just a matter of how they make the servos smaller. The technology gets a little smaller. You can put in more nuances in the puppets in a smaller place. And I think that also the silicone looks better today. I'm not really sure why, but it just seems so. I know that their mold process is better. If they were building this today, like when Arnold took off the woman head, I don't think they would have gotten by with that weird sloppy-eyed Arnold in that shot. I think somebody probably would have got chewed out, but back in the day, there wasn't much to complain about. People didn't have DVDs to pause. Very nice miniature here. I like the swooping, sped up, back to normal speed. That it's good. And I'm not even really sure what they're looking at because it's like open your mind, and now you're seeing things that don't really involve you that may be going on right this moment. Yeah, the aliens built it as a trap to kill whoever took over. Why didn't the Martians just go ahead and like, you build this giant machine and you never use it? Like, couldn't they have thrown the switch themselves and be like, this stuff's a little easier to breathe than we expected?
Alien hand.
Alien hand, yep, that can somehow read the human's hands fairly effectively. Oh no, what's happening? Snap out of it. Put away your Quato. Them tunneling machines are scary mothers.
Quato.
Benny was attentively watching that door the whole time. Now, since these guys are just pretty much shooting at everybody, like, you really had to roll the dice here if you were going to be the one betraying them and be like, I hope they don't shoot me. Benny, come on! Yeah, people had a different way of dying from bullets back then. Like, there's a bit of a dance thing to it.
Yeah. Like now you get shot, you just
When you
fall on the
watch
ground.
much older movies, there's a way how everybody dies. They like instant rigor mortis, fall to the side. Old westerns, old World War II films. Blast
Screwy.
Quado. I guess they didn't want him alive.
Oh, not.
Can't remember that I've been telling people 5 all day. Well, we didn't think that you were married if you had 5 kids. We assumed they were all different moms. Like an NBA player. Or Adrian Peterson.
Fine example.
His fortune telling days are over. Boom, chunk goes out of the
Headshot.
puppet. Kind of looked like a Glock there. Okay, put him on the table. You gotta do something with this table. Okay, so now at this point, we got Ronnie Cox revealing that it's been a trap. He has Michael Ironside chasing Arnold around, knowing that he was incompetent enough he couldn't kill him, that he would provide the drive needed to find Quado and help him destroy the rebel forces on Mars. Because when you sign up to be the bad guy in this position at this day and age, you really have to have your big monologue moment where you spill the beans. Benny's like, I'm glad I picked these guys. They're smart. All right, quit fiddling with your mic.
Talking to me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you
Oh,
blowing into
sorry.
it or something. Perfect my ass. So then he shows him himself, but this is Hauser, and it's like we're buddies. They put me deep cover, erased my mind, had me going with the rebels here, and reactivate you to find them. I guess they must have had some kind of timetable for how they were going to go about this, and going to recall sped it all up.
Yeah. This plot of the movie is so far ahead of its time.
I don't think people were expecting an Arnold movie to have a dense plot when this came out.
No.
Like Conan the Barbarian, you killed my dad, now I'm going to kill you and everybody. And like that's kind of the way it goes. But he did a really good job picking his movies. I mean, he pretty much had the pick of what he wanted to have, and he
Yeah.
made the right choices. I would think the golden age of Arnold kind of spans from, I guess it would start with Conan the Barbarian in 82 and go up to, I would say, 94 with True Lies. But
Yeah.
I think Eraser in 96 was also a hit, but it seemed like to a lesser extent. And I didn't think it was a great movie or a great Arnold film, particularly. Oh, a Mercedes? Well, surely that's not as bad as these ugly boxes we've been driving around. I don't know. The worst thing you can do for I don't know, a forward-thinking action woman here. We're gonna make you complacent. You're gonna be domesticated. Don't do anything.
Let him die.
Sir, we thought we'd warn you about this. You don't want us to do anything? Okay. Nope. Punch.
Ah, right to the chin.
Yeah. I'm sure that punch to the face hurt you more, Richter. Having a party. See you at the party. You're gonna regret you said that, Richter. Going back into the machine. This time we're not giving you the sedative. Fighting just makes it hurt, yeah. They're really getting into it here. Look at Arnold
I
fidgeting.
love it.
Oh, now this is brilliant right here.
Oh yeah.
Stick. That is so edited on TV. All this blood is
Oh
just
wow.
out of sight when this replays on like TNT or whatever. Just beat these guys while he's in the chair still. Pin out. Crank. Here comes the axe. Yeah, this guy has like a sprinkler system
Oh
up his
god.
nose.
Jesus. Hey, luckily Arnold is super strong.
Yeah, it works more because he has the super strength. Like, it's not necessary for his character to be like this, it would seem, but because he is, he's able to get out of the jam. I like how she's useful, too. Like, she's kind of like a Bond girl that's helpful.
Yeah.
And we got our composite screen over there. The optical composite work is really not as good as it can be today, so when things are done like that, you end up with much grainier shots. You end up with black outlines around things. It wasn't the best process back in the day, so when it's used in space, it's less of an issue. See how fake that looks? But it's a
Oh
different
yeah.
brand of fake than we get today, where it's like the computer generated imagery in the background looks real. I mean, it looks less real than that. So sure, you may have the two brands of fake there. Like you'd have the guy against the fake background, or you have the realistic background with the kind of weird looking outline around the guy, or vice versa. It's sort of a pick your poison. And because we're in today's movies, we're used to the newer kind of fake. I'm wondering if in 20 years people are going to look back at like today's superhero movies and be like, "Oh, there's all the fakeness. It's easy to spot because that's not today's brand of fake."
Yeah.
When you see people skydive like in a movie, it doesn't look like actual skydiving at all. It's surely in a room with wind blowing on them and things like that. Because the lighting is just unbelievably even and there's so much control in it. But people don't complain about it because they see it so much. They think that's the way it should look. When they see the older way of going about it, they have a different idea of what's fake. Here we have Benny's Revenge. He happens to be in the right spot, I guess. Somebody lent him a tunnel digging machine. Really, what skin does he have in the game at this point? Like, surely they paid him off. He's going back to his 4 kids, even though he's not married.
Is this a screw you, Benny?
Nasty drill bits.
Oh yeah.
Arnold's like, forget it, the gun's not working. It's a good
Screw
thing
you,
somebody placed
Benny.
this on the ground. Going after the cable. Now, I would think that would hurt a significant amount.
Yeah.
It gets some of Melina, too, and she largely brushes it off. She's not like, oh, no, I can't move. Get me to the hospital. Like, look at that. Ooh. Got some of that thick jelly blood coming in. Okay, so he took out the oil line. Screw you, Benny.
They've like made songs out of this line.
There is a band, I think, called Austrian Death Machine that makes
Yep.
music off of Arnold quotes from films. And they
It's
all have those kind of titles.
actually really funny because my friend who lives in where I live in the area, he
You have a
actually
friend?
used.
That is
I do have a
hilarious.
friend.
You're right. It is
He
funny.
actually makes the videos for Austrian Death Machine, all the videos they did, which is really
Okay,
strange.
so Benny just got screwed. Quaid, this way. You don't want to be Hauser because that guy's an asshole. And there is our reactor. And there you go. See, that's the composite work right there. It's not... I mean, it looks fake, but I like it better than today's brand of fake. Well, he wouldn't be able to charge people money for air. I'm sure he would still have plenty of money, though. I mean, it's really not anything you should have that much worry about. Enough for everyone to brief? Yeah, sure, if you say so.
Sure, like he knows.
Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah. Now, this is pretty much my favorite part here. I think this has the best Arnold kill line with the hologram. The music's fine. I mean, there's no complaint. I just thought that in some ways it sounds a lot like Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
And there are some composers who recycle the material. Hans Zimmer, chiefly.
Definitely.
I was watching Black Rain on Netflix, and I swear the part where Michael Douglas is roughing up the bad guys like hideout is the theme to Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy.
Now I need to rewatch Black Rain. I gotta catch that.
Yeah, check that out. It's where you'll hear it and you'll be like, "Oh my God, it's Batman's theme." From Batman Begins through The Dark Knight Rises. Now, boom, no,
Oh,
dance,
no.
Arnold, dance. How many shots does it take? And if he's a hologram, shouldn't we be shooting the guys on the other side? I would sure think so. It's not like the hologram absorbs the bullets. Should have just wiped out the whole group of them right there with crossfire. I wonder if those amber lenses are really helping those guys out.
Their HD vision.
There's the composite you can see. It's got a darkness to it. Boom. Okay, here. Oh, man. Yeah, just happens to not shoot Richter just yet.
Yeah, clearly.
Here it is. That is awesome.
Oh,
Ha,
I
you
love
think
it.
this is a real Quaid? It is. So he taunts them before he kills them. And that's really the courteous way to go about it.
Definitely.
She's really not as good with the hologram theatrics.
No one-liner? Ah.
Are they just down to, yeah, it's just Richter. Richter in the elevator. Now, who would really think that Michael Ironside could, like, even begin to fight Arnold here?
No.
Like, he'd have to just kind of be going easy on him.
The dude's got the body of like an alcoholic stepfather.
Yeah, he's got that kind of rage in him, too. Well, he killed his wife, so I guess it gives him the extra adrenaline kick for
Yeah,
the revenge.
totally.
Hold on. Even if you fell, it's bad enough. You're coming with me.
See you, dude.
So edited out on TV.
Uh,
Rip. See you at the potty, Richter. You know, when you're kind of watching this for the first time, you're kind of wondering where'd that line come from, but there was a mention of a party. It wasn't a great big event. They didn't actually go there. That we didn't see a party going on. I don't know if there were preparations or who was going to DJ or any of that. But there was mention of a party. No instruction manual needed. I'm about to tell my mom you had one job, and that was to pick up the phone.
It's like your mom is trolling you. Love
She
it.
finds ways.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
Home in time for cornflakes. Hey, what time is cornflakes?
Maybe some
And how long do they take?
I'm pretty sure that's just cereal.
I don't think this movie got the best transfer for Netflix purposes. Because it certainly has more fuzz to it than a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes they may say something's in high definition, but it wasn't really a high definition mastering.
No.
And with this, it's sort of walking that line.
Explosion.
Ah. Okay, so the first one out is Cohagen. Yeah. You know, Arnold, he's got that unique distress yell. But in some of his most known roles, he doesn't do that. Because, like, the Terminator doesn't go,
No.
but everybody knows about it. And I think if you look carefully, you can see some cables pulling these people up. Yeah, there was a shot right there.
Yeah,
of
it's
Ronnie Cox's legs. There, Ronnie
Oh,
Cox's
there you
jacket.
go.
Arnold's
Oh, look at
shirt.
those people.
Out the chute.
It's high definition enough where we see the cables.
Yeah, and back in the day, there wasn't enough consideration to be like, well, people are going to be endlessly watching this with clear, higher spec TVs in the future. It wasn't really
I love
something that
this.
came to mind, but Luckily, they shot things on film back in the day, and therefore it would scale well when given the process to high definition. And there we go. We stick our human hand in the alien hand mold, and I guess that starts everything up and gives enough air for everybody to breathe. Ronnie Cox's eyes are already going. It's not looking good for him. I'm surprised we didn't see him, like, explode.
Yeah, I do appreciate the scene of them outside.
We just kind of assume he dies. Like, he gets to a point where he's messed up enough that I guess there's no turning back. But, like, Quaid and Molina here, they get close to it. Yeah, now when the eyes are coming out like that, I guess they never go
You're
back
done.
in. There's no reset on that. Yeah, I had toys back in the day from, like, Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters cartoon toys. They had eyes that could pop out like Richter's here, or sorry, Cohagen, and no one ever thought anything of it. It's just like, oh hey, yeah, that's a ghost or whatever. I don't think kids have any kind of, like, oddly disturbing toys left.
No.
This must be the rich people. Just chilling, breathing, eating. Eating the cornflakes.
Nap time's over.
Now, I'm not saying that the reactor they have here is big enough to pull this off, but suppose if it was, would it be instantly breathable air within a minute? Like a full atmosphere?
Yeah. I'm no scientist, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not a scientist either, and I doubt it. But it really comes at just the right time for them to kill all the rich people, or at least maim them with broken glass. When they do clouds like that, that's a matter of mixing salt with water. And there we go. We got, is that Olympus Mons? Okay, so getting reset to normal here. Eyes are going back in the head where they belong. And my cornflakes, they spilled.
Just a volcano that shoots air everywhere.
It's got to shoot something. I miss the way these clouds look back in the day in everything. Clouds don't look like that anymore in movies. Now everybody has to get up and be in awe. Like, you didn't know that was going to happen, people. Come on, you knew it was around the corner. Shouldn't have been that surprised. Okay, now there is a musical cue here, right when they're like, oh, but what if it was a dream? And you get the do from earlier, and I guess in the soundtrack they called this, like, The Dream or something like that was the name of the score played at this point in the movie. And that's supposed to be the big tell that it was a big duping and that he never left Recall the whole time. That his adventure didn't happen. But the way I see it, it's open for interpretation either way. It depends on
Yeah,
how you feel like
definitely.
you want to read it. I feel like I'm more inclined to believe that the adventure did happen just because of the way people are reacting to him wanting to go to recall before he arrives. Him having the dream, I mean, there are those iffy moments where it goes the other direction. Rachel Ticotin appearing in his dream, and now here she is later. But hey, maybe she's in the dream because that was a memory with her in the past in some way, before his identity was wiped. So I think I think there's more support for it to be an actual adventure instead of just this. Sorry, Arnold, you're getting a lobotomy. Here's the white light. Even though the director kind of points it towards that way in the commentary. I have the DVD of this where Arnold and Paul Verhoeven are doing the commentary. It's kind of funny with the accents. And Arnold has this way about the commentary tracks where he doesn't tell a lot about what's going on behind the scene. He'll just point out the scene to somebody like he's telling it to blind people. Like, this is the scene where we kiss, and then there's a white light, and then it's all white, and then you see the credits. So there you go, folks. That is Total Recall. Rob, closing thoughts.
Love the movie. Definitely does
Okay,
hold
and
up
I'm Von
well.
Fry. Next time, what movie are we going to do next time?
We're gonna do, I don't know, something. Do you want to do something cult classic just like this on Netflix? Because I'm down for it. It's kind of, maybe
How
we
about
let
you
the
guys,
audience
how about we
decide.
get some comments somewhere, wherever I'm posting this? Is probably going to be on a YouTube, whatever. How about we get some comments suggesting what movies, because the great thing about this is that we all have access to the same catalog. Now, I'm not saying it has to be Terminator 2 next, the greatest movie ever made, but if you mention it, that would probably be a good choice. So next
Definitely.
time, I'm Von Fry,
I'm Robert Stalker.
and this has been Rob's Thing with That Guy.
All right. Have a good day. Bye bye.